In this video, I really want to highlight the game plan, is what I call it, of A.F.S. Photography, and understanding. I'll share with you guys and give you guys an understanding of what is A.F.S., what we plan on doing with A.F.S., and where it's at currently, and where it's heading. I have big plans for this company, and for it to blossom into something that is bigger than myself. And but we'll see how that goes. Let's get into the big plan. The game plan really is a series of 16 steps, but I could probably break it down into 10. But I'll manage to get it into a little bit of something that's more digestible. Step one of the game plan is I wanted to legitimize my business. One of the things about having a business license right off the bat that we wanted to tackle here at A.F.S. is that we know that when you own a business, that your business address is public knowledge. And for a photographer who doesn't own a brick and mortar store, I really wanted to make sure that I was able to protect my home and my family from the public. So we decided to get what's called a registered agent. And a registered agent is really just somebody who meets the requirements of the 9 to 5 of somebody being able to receive emails, receive phone calls, be able to open up mail and correspondence and stuff like that. And our registered agent does that for us. Everything is opened, all of our mail is opened, scanned, and then sent to us via a portal. And it's been really nice. One of the drawbacks is that it is not cheap. You do pay for the service, but they manage pretty much all the things when it comes to the paperwork side of the business, corresponding with the state, and all of those things. They kind of do that for you, and it's been really nice to have a separation of my home, though my office is here, and the business as a whole. You get a lot of junk mail when you own a business. Step number 2 that we wanted to do was create a website. Social media is great, and it's definitely going to be a tool that we utilize long term for marketing tools and stuff like that. But ultimately, the goal is to create these funnels that go from social media posts to looking from here or searching to here, clicking on the link, and coming down to my social media platform, my own personal social media platform, and that is a website. Now, we decided to go with Squarespace, and I will get into a video in the future about why. We're just kind of going into the basics right now of what is A.F.S. and www.afs.photography is our website. As you notice that there is no .com at the end of it. And that's just due to some of the drawbacks of what you name your company. A.F.S. Photography is a fairly common name, and it's used in almost every 50 states. I was able to get away with it because of my abbreviations, and that has definitely been really cool. But to stay on par with the branding, AFS.photography also worked because AFS.photography is just, it's the thing. So moving on, step number 3 for us was we wanted to be able to set ourselves apart with working with future clients, and that is by offering printable options. And I don't mean just like a a few prints. I'm talking about a full photo package. So we decided to be able to buy a photo specific printer to be able to offer people in-house printing. And the great thing is that if something goes wrong with the print, I'm also the print tech and the editor and the photographer. If it doesn't match up, it's my fault. But I can also make those fine tweaks before I deliver it to the client. But it was super important that we were able to set ourselves apart in that aspect. But also as a film and a fine art photographer, I wanted to be able to print my own prints in archival quality paper. It was important for me to be able to have that versatility of being able to do my own prints without having to ship my stuff off to a lab, printing a little bit further down the road. But we decided to go with what's called an Epson Expressions 15,000, which is a wide format photo specific printer. And it's been awesome to learn. It's a little bit pricey to learn. But for the price of the printer, that averages right around the $350 mark. It's fairly accessible when you talk about how expensive photography is as a whole. But for $350, you can go get yourself a printer that will print you borderless 13 by 19s. And if you talk about printing out a triptych, I mean, like, you're talking about a big piece of art, potentially, that you're printing yourself and you have full control over the process. Sure. Moving on, I want is now that, first, create a business license, legitimize the business. Second, get a website so you can market yourself and you have a place for people to land. And third, get a printer to be able to sell prints on that website, to be able to sell print packages to clients, to be able to set yourself apart in marketing and stuff of that nature, and then create some art. That was the next step. Step number 4 was create some art, and that's where I'm at right now. So first off, I wanted to make sure that when I created my collection, my first collection, something that was very popular in the art world right now, something that is ticking off boxes. I wanted to create a level of awe and intrigue that could be reached across the board, no matter where you come from or what you did. And so I had a couple different variations of concepts that I was planning on doing, and I landed on one. And like I said, it's been shot, it's been edited, and we are soon to print all of those on metallic paper. Super stoked. But after I do all of that creating of the art and the printing of the art, I need to sell the art. This is how I'm going to get my name out there to the general public in my area. I want to reach out to farmers markets, to maker markets, to art vendors, I want to get connected with the art guilds in my city that I live in. I live in the Tri-Cities in East Tennessee. And I really want to be able to create a sense of relationship with those that I live around me as an artist, but also as a photographer, as a fine art photographer, and a landscape photographer, and a film photographer, and just someone who just loves photography and just all its forms. And then step 6, it's this. Now, step 6 is really an all-encompassing step. It's from beginning to end. I have been making videos on things previously that I've never actually shared, and things that just, honestly, I was too scared to get in front of the camera and talk, just because, audio quality sounded like I was talking into a tin can, and I honestly didn't have enough gumption when I started buying all of these things. Like I bought the printer before I had the business license, only because it was on sale. And I was like, well, I know I want this printer and it's $150 off. I pulled the trigger on it before I even so I mean, these steps are out of order. But for the most part, step 6 is this. I want to document the process. I want to document the journey. Our motto here at A.F.S. Photography is your journey matters. And my life story getting here is full of twists and turns and ups and downs. And if it wasn't for that journey that got me to here where I am now, I don't think I'd be doing what I am doing now. I'd probably be still doing manual labor with a shovel in my hand. And thankfully I'm not, but your journey definitely matters. And so I really want to make sure that I can document that journey as we go on. Now this is everything after this is all going to be future AFS. I would love to have it in my life at some point, but totally understand that step 4 and 5, creating art, selling art, is going to be a process. Getting myself known and all of this stuff is going to be a process. Getting a following and getting people to watch these videos is going to be a process. I understand that the journey matters to get to where I want to be. So step number 7. I mean, I love film. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to try my hand at restoring old cameras. There's so many vintage cameras out there, and the history of cameras is so vast, and I kind of want to go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I want to buy and restore old cameras. I want to get my hands dirty. I like to be able to fidget with things, and if I can take a camera out and put it on the desk and clean it and give it new life, and then test it and put film through it and see if it's a camera that's worth saving, or is it parts? You know, the world's my oyster, I guess. Going further into the film rabbit hole of learning how to develop film myself. I want to get a canister and start learning how to develop my own C41 color film, my own black and white film using a Patterson can. I've seen ungodly amounts of videos at 2 times speed, watching the process and learning about how it's all done, and just completely geek out on the chemicals and the different things, and developing film with beer, of all things. I mean, like, yes, please, let's get into it, right? But that's something that I want to learn. I think that it kind of goes hand in hand, and I could kind of combine those together. But I also want to learn how to scan film. I want to be able to take my Canon AE1 or my program or my Argus 75, and I want to be able to go out there and shoot these 120s, 620s, and 35 mils film and develop them myself, and then scan them and do the magic of being able to do post, and then eventually to prints, and being able to do that all in-house. I think that is something that I really, in my brain, says this is the right direction for me to go. I love digital. I love I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, the way that the camera industry in the digital world is going is great. And I think it's fantastic for those who are making money with their cameras. But for the average Joe, I think that we're just so reaching for the minute levels of perfection that we lose the art. But yeah, I mean, like, it's the magic of knowing what you're doing with it is the real awesomeness. But yeah, I digress. Step number 10. So last one was learning how to digitally. So scan. Step 10 is I want to then perfect those skills. I want to perfect developing and scanning. And through this whole process, I'll be perfecting my printing and eventually probably getting bigger and better printers down the line, hopefully. But yeah, I want to be able then to take that and offer that to people. I've loved for people to drop off at a farmer's market or a maker's market their rolls of film. I take it home, I develop it, I scan it, I send it off to them, and then they can do what they want with it. And I know that some people out there actually reuse that film. Beyond me, maybe one day, but I really just I want to be able to offer that as to my clients, for me to be able to develop their film and also build a relationship with them. Also prints as well. I also want to take the same mindset of offering film development, but I also want to offer that in prints. And that's kind of two steps in the same process. But all of that requires something that's bigger than my home. And so the next step after that is actually opening a brick and mortar store. I would love, and I'm going to claim it now, that it's not if, it's just when, that I'm able to open a camera store of some sort and that has a studio space. And I would like it to be an emphasis on film, and I would love to have in that space, or I would love to have it have a kind of more of like a dark academia feel to it. Think cigar lounge meets cameras, but all of this is all encompassing. The buying, and the fixing of the cameras to be able to put them up there for sale, the developing of film and scanning to be able to have a relationship with other photographers that are film photographers and people who are into film. I want to be able to then offer prints to the average Joe, the average artist, or maybe the one-off artist who really wants to have that piece, that one photo. They're like, you know what? I'm not going to print anything. I'm an Instagram nerd where I'm just going to dump all my photos on Instagram, let everyone comment on them. But I really, really, really love this one photo of this mountain somewhere, and I want it printed. I want to be able to do that. I don't want to do large scale printing. I'm not going to be some of these print. I don't want to. I will compete with them at some level, but I don't want to. So much so where I'm taking away like billboards. I want to be photo specific, specifically, but also offer some prints online as well, shipped directly to your home. And I'm in development with that right now. If you go to the website www.afs.photography, you'll see a section where you see my prints and your prints. And if you go into my prints, into your prints, you can actually fill out a form and attach a photo to that form where I can then review it and then start the conversation about what kind of paper you want and then stuff like that. It's all in development, pun intended. But these are things that I want to offer in the future and things that I'm currently offering right now. Kind of. It's under development. And then also I want to make new friends through the farmers markets, the makers markets, the art galleries, the printing for people, the film development, all of these things. I want to make new friends, new people that I can call upon, or people that potentially are going to be future employees. I want to hire people that are going to do. I want to hire somebody to fix cameras full time. I want to hire somebody to develop film full time. I want someone to manage the studio full time. And let me get into that here. I want to make friends that are in the art community and kind of start an art collective, a community of artists, photographers specifically. And you don't have to be a fine artist. You can just be a landscape artist, a photographer, or a micro photographer, or any kind of photographer. If you want to come out and hang out, I want to create a spot for photographers. And with that being said, one thing when I was starting out, I wish that I had more opportunities in studios. And so the studio space that I want in the back of my brick and mortar space, I want that to be rentable. I want that not to be something that is typically overran by one person or one artist or one company. I don't want that. I want this to be a space that, like, for example, Tuesdays and Thursdays, college kids can come in and utilize the studio for art projects. Or like Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's only, the studio is only open to high school kids and their teachers, whatever. I don't know. But I want to be able to offer an opportunity for people to grow in this industry by having opportunities that I never had. And quite honestly, with a lot of photographers, there's so much snootiness that comes up that people don't want to live in community with one another. And they just want to go, I'm better than you, and let me tell you why. And you'll get that all the time. Other photographers talking absolute trash about that photographer behind their back to their own clients. And I know actually photographers that have had new photographers come into the area and then contact their clients while they're under contract to see if they can get them to break contract. And it's absolutely nuts, some of the brash and brazenness of us out there, I guess. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. I want to create an environment that is conducive to creating a community that supports one another and that is available for people to develop film, to print their own film, to, hey, I have this photo shoot with this family. It's raining. We need to call an audible. Hey, I'm ringing up the phone to A.F.S. Photography. Hey, can I get this studio for this time? Is it available? And then you come in and you could do what you got to do. And then that way you don't have to own your own brick and mortar. But we are way far away from there. We are still on step 4 while doing step 6 of documenting everything. And last and most importantly to myself, through this process, I want to make sure that the glory goes to the right space and the right place. And I don't want to lose myself in that process. I don't want to gain all of this, but lose myself in this process. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this for any other reason than I love photography, and I wish that what I'm creating now was already in existence, at least for me. And it might be. Who knows? As you know, anything that is developed over time, you start finding, it's like, you buy a car. You never see that car on the road ever. But now that you bought that car, you see it everywhere. So maybe as I develop these things, I'm going to start seeing people left and right in my area that develop film and do this and print and do that. I mean, who knows? Hopefully I become friends with them and we can do things together. But yeah, that's it. That's all I have right now. But your journey matters, my journey matters, and in this process, I just want to let you know that there's gonna. I want to be 100% real on this. I don't want to pick sides. You know, I don't do that. I'm not a Canon guy. I'm not a Nikon guy. I'm not a Fujifilms guy. I'm not, you know, a Leica guy. I mean, if it goes snap and it goes snap to the settings that I set, I will use that camera, right? And if I don't know how to use that camera, the joy of figuring out how to use that camera, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So with that being said, I love you for being human. Thank you for watching it this far. This journey is just the beginning. I'm sure I'll revise this video as time goes on. But if you watched it this far, thank you so much. Make sure that you hit the like and the notification, follow, do all the things. You know what to do. This isn't your first video on YouTube. And if it is, welcome to YouTube. Me too. But I love you guys. You don't know it yet, but I do. I think that this is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of challenges, but it's going to be fun. Anyways, my name is Stash. I'll see you later.